When we think about legendary leaders, these almost mythical kings, we usually picture them as born heroes, right? Like they were just destined for greatness from day one. But what if that's not the whole story? What if they aren't born at all? What if they're actually built piece by meticulous piece by a mentor with an unbelievable vision? Today, we're diving into the story of a leader who was crafted for a kingdom long before he ever sat on a throne. So how do you build a legendary king? I mean, that's the big question, isn't it? Is greatness forged in the heat of battle, or is it something that's shaped carefully, long before that, in those quiet moments of learning and guidance? Well, we're about to explore one of history's most powerful answers to that very question. And the answer, as it turns out, is that behind the legendary Maratha king, Chhatrapati Shivaji, was the incredible strategic vision of his mother, Jijabai. She wasn't just raising a son, you see. She was architecting a revolution. All right, so let's set the scene. Our story begins at Shivneri Fort. It's here, inside these huge stone walls, that we meet our two central figures, the teacher and her student, whose bond would literally change the course of history. So on one hand, you have this kid, young Shivaji. He's bright, he's determined, and he's just full of questions about the world. And on the other hand, you have Jijabai. And listen, she is so much more than just a mother. She's a visionary, a master strategist, and the architect of her son's entire destiny. So where does she even begin? You might think with weapons, with battle tactics, but nope. She starts with wisdom. The very first pillar of Shivaji's leadership had to be a rock-solid moral compass, and she forged it using the stories of ancient heroes. First up, she starts with the Ramayana. She uses this epic, timeless story to teach him something absolutely foundational about leadership. And the lesson here is huge. True leadership is sacrifice. She's teaching him that being royalty isn't about enjoying power and luxury. No, it's about being willing to endure hardship for the sake of your people. It's all about selfless duty. Okay, so once that lesson sinks in, she adds another layer. This time, she turns to the Mahabharata to add a little more complexity to his understanding of what it means to lead. The big idea here? Being strong isn't enough, not even close. She teaches him that strength without a sharp mind to guide it is just chaos. A true leader's most powerful weapon will always be their intellect. All right, so he's got this moral foundation built from these epic stories. But now, Jijabai knows it's time to move from theory to the real world. It was time for Shivaji to see for himself why these lessons mattered so much. So she takes him to a village nearby. And what he sees there, it's raw. He watches soldiers, people with all the power, just mistreating and oppressing poor farmers, the very people who work the land. And you can just hear the frustration in his voice, right? That righteous anger. He asks, "Mother, why isn't anybody stopping this?" That fire, that sense of injustice, that's exactly what she was waiting for. And her answer is the core of everything. She defines the entire purpose of power for him in that one moment. It's not a prize to be proud of, it's a shield to be used for the defenseless. It's a responsibility, period. But being a great leader isn't just about what you do on the outside. It's about who you are on the inside. A leader needs an inner resolve that is absolutely unbreakable. Jijabai knew she had to build that inner fire in Shivaji. And get this, think about her prayer for him. It's fascinating. She doesn't ask for her son to be kept safe or to have an easy, comfortable life. No way. She prays for him to face challenges, to be tested, because she knows that's how real strength is built. She completely reframes the idea of faith for him. It's not some passive belief system. It's active. It is pure resilience. It's that inner fire that gives you the courage to keep going when everyone else says it's impossible. And you can see this principle in action on the training grounds. While other people are watching Shivaji go through this brutal training and worrying that it's too much for a boy, Jijabai just watches. She's totally calm, completely unwavering. She's seeing the bigger picture. And here's why she's so resolute. Her reason is just, wow. This line shows her incredible perspective. She understood that Shivaji's destiny was so much bigger than just her personal connection to him. She wasn't just raising her son, she was preparing a king for his kingdom. So, all this training, all these lessons, what was it all for? What was the end game? Well, it can all be summed up in this one powerful word. Swarajya. Self-rule. Freedom from oppression,
for their people and their land.
And this is it. This is where it all comes together. Every story, every hard lesson, every drop of sweat on the training ground, it was all designed to lead to this one single defining moment. He's a teenager standing on the fort walls, looking out over his homeland, and he makes a vow. He tells his mother, "One day, this land will be free. I will build Swarajya." Her vision has now become his mission. All her lessons have finally blossomed into his purpose. And her response just gives you chills. This is where she reveals the profound truth of it all. This wasn't just his idea. This was the destiny she had been carefully, patiently crafting for him since he was just a child. She didn't just nurture his dream, she planted the seed. And that's really the heart of the story, isn't it? Before the warrior king, before the new empire, before the entire revolution, there was the focused, unwavering vision of a mother who dared to build a king from the ground up.
It really leaves us with a final thought to chew on. Out of all of Jijabai's incredible teachings, sacrifice, wisdom, using power to protect, having that inner faith, which one do you think truly lies at the heart of great leadership? What is the one lesson that a leader absolutely cannot afford to forget?